U.S. Supreme Court throws out one of Louisiana's black-majority congressional districts just days before an election, and Governor Landry says the ruling provides the state clarity.
But as Sabrina Wilson reports, Congressman Troy Carter and voting rights advocates call it devastating.
The U.S. Supreme Court struck down Louisiana's electoral map that created a second majority black district. The map was redrawn after a federal judge sided with plaintiffs who said Louisiana's map diluted black voting strength.
This is exactly what we've been looking for, is some clarity and certainty from the courts.
The court's conservative majority said the Louisiana legislature relied too heavily on race when it redrew the map and created a second black majority district now represented by Congressman Cleo Fields.
Basically, it resets the jingle test and basically neutralizes Section 2. It says that states can draw based upon political lines. I think that that's an important, very important distinction.
Voting rights advocates say the ruling could impact the electoral districts around the country.
Supreme Court ruling is devastating to all Americans. It's devastating to our Voting Rights Act.
Now the states can do whatever they want. This Supreme Court has dealt a devastating blow, and I think, Sabrina, this decision could be the new Plessy versus Ferguson decision.
Louisianans start voting on the congressional races on Saturday. Will the current electoral map still be used for the election?
I don't know that yet. Look, I think that anyone who jumps to conclusions right now, I think it's going to take us at least 24 hours to really pour through the opinion.
I believe, as with most jurists, that this is going to not impact this election. Precedent has been set by the Supreme Court itself. The Supreme Court said it is unconstitutional, but it's way too close to the election to have it impact the outcome.
National Urban League president and CEO and former New Orleans Mayor Mark Morial was a civil rights attorney who was involved in some key voting rights cases.
They have in effect gutted Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act. It means that this legislature can return us to 1950s style politics.
Are you confident that the district you represent, which is majority African American, will be safe?
I am not. I'm not confident at all.
We will resist. My call to action is for people to express their objection to this, their distaste for this, their disgust for this, by voting record numbers in the midterm elections and in every single election.
Morial says the ruling undercuts the work done by civil rights leaders like the Reverend Avery Alexander, A.P. Turo, and his father, Dutch Morial. Landry, however, disagrees with those who say it will dilute black voting strength, and he isn't ruling out a special legislative session related to the map.